Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with me, Ralf Friedrichs. Today's topic is going to be my personal 7 simple tips to deal with people that are negative all the time, no matter how and what the situation is in life. They just have a negative attitude towards them. So I've always said that what you need to do is to stay away from negativity, and today's topic is 7 simple tips to do that, to be around negative people, how to deal with negative people, and worst scenario, how to avoid negative people with negative situations. First and foremost, Larry Geis from the Geis Academy, 516-485-2741. That's 516-485-2741. Larry Geis from the Geis Academy. He's an addiction recovery coach. He's a life coach. He will help you from your addiction to your recovery, hand in hand, step by step, 24 hours at a time. You can Google him at www.odysseyconsultant.org. That's www.odysseyconsultant.org. Call Larry Geis at 516-485-2741 and tell him that you heard about him on the Take Your Life Back Today show. Larry Geis from the Geis Academy. GlobalEyeglasses.com, where they are focused on saving you money. They are focused on putting frames in your home for you to try on prior to having your prescription inserted. That way, when you get the frame, you know exactly how it's going to look on you. What's so great about this is you can try them on in front of your family, get their opinion, look in the mirror, see what it looks like. Make sure the fit is good, make sure the color looks good on you. And here's the great thing: when you get your frames and you open that box, there's going to be a self-addressed postage paid label that you will put back on that box when you send the frames back that you don't like. And guess what? When you send those frames back, you get a refund. That's right, you get a refund. Now, once you pick the frame that you do like and you know exactly what you want, you call me at 844-405-HELP, or you text me at 631-599-0218, and I will personally help you get your glasses ordered. I will make sure that the lenses you pick are the lenses you need. I want to make sure that the thickness is not too thick. I want to make sure also, sometimes it can be too thin in certain frames, like the rimless. I want to make sure that you get the progressive or the line bifocal or the single vision, like distance and reading is what you need. I want to make sure that you don't need nighttime anti-reflecting coating. I want to make sure that you don't want, or you do want possibly, the lenses that change indoor outdoors. Do me a favor and call me at 844-405-HELP, or text me at 631-599-0218, and I will personally give you my 30 years experience in optometry to place your order. And guess what, folks? When you make that phone call and you purchase from GlobalEyeglasses.com, I will give you a coupon code for free shipping. That's right, you heard it right here on the Take Your Life Back Today show. Free shipping with every purchase when you make that phone call to me. I am waiting for you. Make Global Eyeglasses your choice for your eyeglass need. And remember, they are focused on saving you money. 7 simple tips to deal with negative people. Here is a quote that I found. The people who are the hardest to love are the ones who need it most. Think about it. The people that are hardest to love are the ones that need it most. It's a very good quote. Have you ever dealt with negative people before? I know we all have in our lifetime. In our conversations, if you have, you will know that the experience can be quite a downer. It is definitely not a positive thing. I have a relative who's very negative. In our conversation, she would complain endlessly about everyone, her living arrangements, and her life. She was also very cynical about people in general, often doubting their intentions. Talking to her wasn't a pleasant experience at all. I'm telling you, folks, it definitely isn't. The first time she spoke so negative, I felt so drained. I felt worn out. Even though we only talked for 20 to 30 minutes, I didn't have the mood or energy to do anything else after this particular conversation. It felt as if someone had sucked the life right out of me, and it wasn't until 2-3 hours later that negativity, that effect, wore off. The same thing happened the next few times we talked. Because she was so pessimistic, her negative energy often spilled over after the conversation, leaving me with a bad taste in my mouth. For a period of time, folks, I was quite bothered by her. I would avoid speaking to her anytime I could. After a while, I figured I needed to work out an action plan to deal with negative people, being that I'm sure I'm going to run into them. After all, she was not going to be the only negative person I was ever going to encounter in my life, I thought. For every one negative person I face now, there are probably thousands of them out there whom I'll meet one day. If I learn how to deal with her effectively, I will be able to handle other negative people as I encounter them. With this in mind, I then brainstormed on the best approach to handle negative people. Eventually, I developed several key steps to deal with negative people effectively. These steps have proven very helpful in making the best out of my relationships with the negative people around me. While the people I face today are generally more positive because I make sure I surround myself with them, these steps come in handy when and if you find yourself with a negative person. If there's someone negative in your life at the moment, don't let yourself be affected by him or her. You're not alone in your problem. I face negative people as well as dealing with them, and is always a learning experience. While people can try to get you down, you have a choice on how to react to those negative people. Here, I'd like to share my 7 tips on how to deal with negative people. Tip number 1, don't engage in negativity. Number 1 is don't engage in negativity. One thing I found is negative people tend to harp on the bad things and ignore the positive stuff in life. They also have a tendency to exaggerate issues they are facing, making their predicament seem a lot worse than it actually is. The first time you converse with a negative individual, provide a listening ear and offer help if needed. Provide support. Let him or her know that she is not alone. However, be sure to draw a line somewhere. If the person keeps harping on the same problems, even the first conversations, then it's a sign to disengage from this conversation and be respectful about it, please. Number 2 is hang out in groups. Speaking to a negative person can be extremely draining. When I spoke to my negative relative, I would be mentally drained for several hours, even though we only talked for 20 to 30 minutes. That was because I was the receiving end of her negativity. To address this, have someone else around when conversing with the negative individual. In fact, the more people, the better. This way, the negative energy is divided between you and all your friends, and you don't absorb 100% of her or his negativity. Number 3, objectify the comments made. Negative people can be quite critical at times. They tend to drop insensitive comments that are hurtful, especially if they're directed at you. For example, I once had a friend who was quite tactless. She would drop jarring comments which were dismissive and critical. Initially, I was bothered by her words, wondered why she had to be so critical every time she spoke. I'm sorry. I also wondered if there was something wrong with me, possibly, that perhaps I wasn't good enough. However, when I observed her interactions with our common friends in my inner circle, I realized she did this to them also. Her comments were not personal attacks on me, so I should not take a personal approach or a personal attack towards me. It was just her way of being who she is. Negative. Number 4, go with lighter topics. Some negative people are triggered by certain topics. For example, one of my friends turns into a self-victimizer whenever we talk about work. No matter what I say, he'll keep complaining about everything at his job, which becomes quite a conversation dampener. Number 5, be mindful of the time you spend with them. As I always say, you are the average of 5 people you spend most of the time. What this quote means is that the more who you spend your time with has an impact on the person that you eventually become. I find it to be very true. Think about the times you hang out with negative people. Do you feel more positive or negative afterwards? Same for positive people. How do you feel spending time with them? Do you feel positive afterwards? Whenever I encounter the negative people, I often feel negative after that, like a bad aftertaste. Whereas with positive people, I feel extremely upbeat and exuberant. Clearly, there is a spillover effect that takes place even after the interaction. Number 6, identify areas you can make positive changes. Negative people are negative because they lack love, positivity, and warmth. A lot of times, their negative behavior is a barrier they erect to protect themselves from the world. One of the best ways you can help a negative individual is to usher positivity into their life. Think about what's bothered the person at the moment and think about how you can help him or her in your own way. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, and you definitely don't have to go out of your way to help if you don't want to go that route. The key is to be sincere in your desire to help and to show him or her the upside of life and eliminate the downside. A while back, I had a friend who was unhappy with her job due to this stagnant environment and culture mismatch. There was a job opportunity that arose in my former workplace, so I introduced the opportunity to my friend. She eventually got the job, and she has been working there for 3 years, doing very well. Number 7 and last on my top 7 tips. Drop them from your life. And this is a crucial one, and it can be a hurtful one, but you have to think for yourself. If all fails, reduce contact with them, drop them from your life. Rather than spending your time with negative people, focus on the positive people instead. In the past, I spent a lot of time with negative people, trying to help them with their issues. It drained up a lot of my energy and was often futile, which led me to rethink my methods and hence coming up with these 7 tips. Ever since then, I've worked on cultivating positivity by hanging out with positive friends and business partners. This has turned out to be a lot more rewarding and more fruitful. Remember that your life is yours to lead, and it's up to you on how you want to be. If there are negative people who make you feel bad about yourself, work on those issues with the 7 steps that I just provided to you folks. And I'm going to go over those 7 steps one more time quickly. But as you can see, if you have issues, if you have negative people in your life, you got to remember that it will spill over onto you if you allow it. So you need to apply these 7 tips. 7 simple tips to deal with negative people. And the first one that I want you... first, let me say this quote again. The people who are the hardest to love are the ones who need it most. They need the most love. Number 1, don't engage in negativity. One thing I found is negative people tend to harp on bad things and ignore the positive stuff. They also have a tendency to exaggerate issues that they are facing, making their predicament seem a lot worse than it actually is. Don't fall into the trap of them sucking you into their negativity. Be yourself. If you're positive, stay positive. Doesn't mean be disrespectful. It doesn't mean anything other than what I'm saying. Don't engage in their negativity. Number 2, hang out in groups, because when you have 2 or 3 people listening to this individual just ranting and ranting about negative things, you will not be the one person that will absorb all of it. It will be divided within your group. Number 3, objectify comments made. Negative people can be quite critical at times. They tend to drop insensitive comments that are hurtful, especially if directed to you. If you watch negative people, they will not just hurt you. They will go from person to person to person, possibly say the same thing over and over to different individuals. So then, that should be a light bulb saying, hey, they're not directing it just to me. That is the type of person you're dealing with. Treat it accordingly. Number 4, go with lighter topics. Some negative people are triggered by certain topics. Stay away from politics, from religion. Those are topics that negative people will harp on over and over again. Number 5, be mindful of the time you spend with them. As I always say, you're the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. What this quote means is that who you spend your time with has an impact on the person you eventually become. So if you spend too much time with negative people, you eventually will become a negative person. Be careful on how you spend your time and who you spend your time with. And do yourself a favor and surround yourself with positive people. I'm not saying alienate yourself from all negative people. What I am saying is divide your time accordingly. If you have negative friends and you don't want to be disrespectful, spend 10% of your time with them. Number 6, identify areas you can make positive changes. Negative people are negative because they lack love, positivity, and warmth. A lot of times their negative behavior is a barrier they erect to protect themselves from the world. One of the best ways you can help a negative individual is to usher positivity into their life. And I do this daily with people. I always try to turn negative around into positive. I try to always use punchlines like, a half a loaf is better than no loaf, or a glass half empty is better than nothing in the glass at all. Look at brighter sides to every situation. Last on my list, and the most important, number 7 is drop them from your life. And this is a crucial, and it could be a hurtful and a hard one, but you need to make that decision. If all fails, reduce contact with them and drop them from your life, folks. Rather than spend your time with negative people, focus on the positive people instead. In the past, I've spent a lot of time with negative people, trying to help them with their issues. It drained up a lot of my energy and was often futile, which led me to rethink my methods. Ever since then, I worked on cultivating positivity by hanging out with positive friends and business associates. This has turned out to be a lot more rewarding and fruitful in my life. Remember that your life is yours to lead, and it's up to you on how you want to be. If there are negative people who make you feel bad about yourself, work on those issues, work on those 7 tips I just gave you, and work on eliminating those people from your life. Yeah, a lot of times there are negative people that are directly related to you. You can avoid them and still be respectful. I'm not saying never talk to them again. What I am saying is pick and choose the topics, pick and choose situations, and definitely if they're negative, pick and choose the amount of time you listen to the negativity. It is today the choice for you to make to be more positive in life. Because when you have positive thoughts here, I promise you folks, no matter where you are, no matter where you're sitting and watching me, you will have positive results within your heart and your home. Folks, I know that my audience is pretty far reached at this point. And I want you all to know that I daily try to live my life in a positive way. There are barriers, sure, that are thrown my way. There are people that come and go in my life that are negative. But I try to look in positive way in everything I do. And I ask you to start thinking the positive ways that you can change your life. What will it take for you to get positive results in life? There is only one answer. That is positive thinking and positive actions. What will it take to get rid of all the negative things in your life and the down things in your life is to eliminate the negative thoughts and the negative situations. All changes in life, no matter what they might be, whether it's drug abuse, alcoholism, relationship, financial, or spiritual, all changes only happen when you apply small baby steps. You won't see results right away, but those results are coming, but you need to work slowly on them. Tackle one situation at a time and you will find results are coming your way. If you promise yourself to have a sober today, 24 hours, now it's in the morning, about 8:30 in the morning, if you promise yourself you'll stay sober till 8:30 tomorrow morning, God willing, when you wake up, you'll still be sober. Repeat that pattern over and over. And you will find that the weeks, the months, and the years of sobriety will go by. You will find things around you, like your health, your relationships, your financial, your spiritual, all situations around you will slowly come back to life the way it might have been many years ago. But you have to think positive. You have to admit you have a problem, if you do, with alcoholism and drug abuse. And you need to ask God for guidance and direction. Remember, God created you. Who are you to think that you can run your own life when your Creator is willing and definitely able, sitting there, waiting for you to reach out and say, God, I can't do it on my own. God, I need you to guide and direct you. God, I turn my life over to you, and I trust that you will make the right decisions and direct me in the right direction daily. That's all you have to really do. And then apply what God implants in you, and going around and helping other people and treating other people right and doing the right things in life. Let today be the first day, folks. Today be the first day of your new life. If you start thinking positive, you will get positive results, folks. Make those changes, but remember, they only happen when you apply baby, small steps. And keep in mind that a sober today, I promise you, will guarantee you a better tomorrow. I hope to God, no matter where you are, could be anywhere. You could be at home. You could be in a jail, a homeless shelter. You could be in a different state, different country. Yesterday I walked into Stop and Shop, and somebody approached me. And I thought, the minute they opened their mouth, they approached me because they have a German accent. Maybe they thought I was German. And the person said to me, I've seen you somewhere. I said, oh, really? I don't know where. They said, we saw you on YouTube, and we follow you. And I said, oh, where are you from? Here? In the Hampton Bays? They said, no, we are in Germany. YouTube has such a far reach globally that the message is getting out there, and it's up to you to take that message and absorb it. And I ask each and one of my audience to take my messages and pass them on, because I guarantee there's someone in your life that you know that has addiction issues, drug issues, self-esteem issues, job issues, life issues. Pass my videos on, pass my websites on. I hope to God, folks, you have the best day of your life, but I really hope and I really do pray that each and every one of my audience has a sober rest of their life, and may God bless you.